Welcome back, Plug Nation. Today we have so much to talk about and it's very important. So you already know I don't like to waste any time. Whatever you gotta do, make sure that like button is blue, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and let's get right into the news. So I was looking back on last year's content because I want to know the 2K news cycle, or get a feeling of when 2K is going to be dropping things this year. And I was talking about how 2K last year in 2K21 dropped their little gameplay thing on June 11th. So that might be coming very soon, like extremely soon, depending on the news cycle and which way they do it this year. But anyway, Wishlist had a tweet called NBA 2K23 gameplay should be more realistic or arcadey. I want you all to let me know in the comment section, what do you think 2K23's gameplay should be? Now, of course, it should be a mix. It shouldn't be 100% realistic where you're shooting 40%, or too arcadey where you're shooting 90% every single game. There has to be a mixture. But what do you think it should be more of, arcade or realism? Now, it's very interesting to me because a lot of people will call out arcadey things in 2K22. I'm not going to go into detail. There's so many things, of course, but then the majority, as most of you all know, of the community's favorite games are the most arcadey games. 2K15, 2K17, 2K19 are very arcadey games, and people love those and act like they didn't have any issues. Now, I'm not saying I'm on either side. I do think, like I said, the game needs a mix of both, but maybe it should be more arcadey. Maybe it should be more realistic. You guys need to let me know in the comment section. Let's talk about it. I really do want to read all the comments and talk about it with you guys about this. Anyway, Grinding responded to my tweet and said, I hate this question. You tell 2K you want realistic, you get 2K18. You tell them you want arcade, you get dribble glitches, real player percentage, and Zin's LMAO. It needs to be a balance only they can find. And Wadgeplug said, it's definitely not easy to find a sweet spot, but it's interesting how even in the COD community, the majority of answers is Modern Warfare 2 for favorite game, which is the most arcadey COD, or close with how OP everything was, just like people in the 2K picked the arcadey game. So when I was looking at his tweet and I was like, what is he talking about? 2K18 was very realistic. And then it made sense to me, because if you played the game, every single time you played, an 80% contested shot went in, like literally once a game or twice a game. And that's realistic because Steph Curry comes down the court, makes an 80% contested shot for fun. That's what superstars do. So if you want a realistic game, that's also going to be a part of it. Just like if you want an arcadey game, there's going to be a lot of like crazy dribbling. There's so many different ways you can describe what a realistic game is versus arcadey. But anyway, I want you guys to please, if you haven't yet, chime in and let's really talk about this. What do you think 2K23's gameplay should be like? But anyway, speaking about gameplay, Luck said, we really haven't heard from Mike Wang since the launch of NBA 2K22. For a developer of the game, I think it would be really cool to listen to feedback and be active in the community to get opinions for the next year. Hearing your community is the most important thing, honestly. So like, Mike Wang is the gameplay director of the game. He hasn't tweeted since January, bro. Where are you, Mike Wang? Come back, talk to us. Let's talk about the game. And when you come back this year and give us polls, make sure they're good polls to vote on. Like last year, he came back and it was, should Zins be in 2K23? Pretty much like he said, should shot aiming be in 2K23? Which obviously the way people were able to manipulate that and then turn it into Zins, and that was a huge outbreak. It shouldn't have been in 2K. It shouldn't have even been a question. You see what I'm saying? When you come back, have good questions that people can chime in and talk about, not something that's very obvious that shouldn't be in the game. But anyway, Zach2K replied to my tweet and said, realistic should never be the answer for a video game that's meant to be played for fun. And then DoubleH responded to the tweet, and this was his opinion. He said, it's arcadey, this is a video game. Realistic is 2K18, arcadey is like 2K17/2K19. So at first, like I was saying, I'm like, bro, 2K18, what are you talking about? But then it really made sense to me how much crazy stuff happened in the game, and that's kind of what you have to deal with when you're thinking about a very realistic game, because if you want to be like real life, all that type of stuff happens all the time. You play amazing, best defense ever, and they just play better offense. So I mean, there's many ways you can go about it, like I said, but that's just one of the examples. Once again, you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comment section down below. But Power went to Twitter, PowerDF, still in his name. He said, let's make a 2K23 wish list. Comment something you wish to be in 2K23. Go. I'll start a new level system like the legend level system. So I want you all to let me know in the comment section, because usually I ask, yo, what's one thing you think should be in the game, blah, blah, blah. One thing, you think 2K should change. Actually give me your wish list for 2K23. I'm interested to see what you guys are thinking the game should have. Not just one thing, but multiple things you think 2K needs to do with their game, add or take out, stuff like that. Luck said NBA 2K23 in 3 months. Now, 3 months, it seems like it's a long time away, but really it's not, because if there's a demo, which I really hope there's a demo, it's only about 2 months away, first of all. And then with the news coming out very, very soon, it's like before you know it, the game's gonna be out. You know what I'm saying? It's like that every single year. Once we get to around this time, once we make it here, the game, before you know it, is gonna be out. That's why I say to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet, because I'm gonna be here, literally right here. As soon as the news comes out, you already know it's gonna be on this channel, so check it out. But anyway, we have a tweet from Pregame Jordan who said, "My unpopular opinion, 2K19 was the greatest 2K. Most well-balanced and fun game ever, excluding pushing obviously and dribble glitch. Offense and defense overpowered, so in terms, it was balanced and events shut the platy down." So look, before the pushing or after the pushing, I actually really did enjoy NBA 2K19. Of course, like he said, we still had the dribble glitch, but those two things aside, say you're not playing someone that was using a super toxic lineup, or they were pushing when pushing was out, the game was actually pretty good due to that fact, and I will agree with that. Offense was extremely overpowered, but then the 6'10 lockdowns that could do everything was also very overpowered. And that's something a lot of people don't think about that I've seen this year, and I've really started to put my mind on it. Why do you think that 2K should go in and nerf offense when really they could just make defense better? You see what I'm saying? They could just make defense better like how it used to be. And that way, offense isn't very stale and boring and slow, but defense is also good. So the people that are very good, they can also be rewarded on defense, and the people that are very good on offense can be rewarded. So it's not shrunk down, and it looks like everyone's doing the same thing on both sides of the court, where people can shine and stand out like, wow, this guy timed this chase down perfectly, blah, blah, blah. And one thing, of course, is paint defense for 2K23. I would not say, like, if a dev came up to me right now and said, what's your opinion on paint defense? I would not say it's horrible. Now, it probably is, but this is how I would describe it. It's extremely inconsistent. Very, very inconsistent. Sometimes you're standing there in the paint, no contest at all, and you make people miss. Sometimes you're playing Fight Night Round 3 with Mike Tyson, punching your opponent in the face, and they make it and it says open. It literally says open on a very obviously contested layup. So that has to change next year. Why are chase down blocks so good? I'm not saying they should be nerfed or made better, anything like that. I'm just saying, why are chase down blocks so good on this game when you're like trailing from behind on somebody, but when you're standing in the paint, a standing layup, even with a 6-foot one play shot on a 25 Hall of Fame defensive center, is just wide open, like standing there. Or when you're standing in the paint and you tap the jump button perfectly, you don't get any type of contest on a contact dunk. But if you're 5 feet behind, oh, you're gonna get a chase down. You see what I'm saying? It's very confusing and inconsistent. Anyway, it's your boy BashPlug. You've been plugged in. Make sure to drop a like if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Follow me on Facebook at BashPlug if you want to see me streaming, and I'm out. Peace.